You straight? Most good job. Good job. Ain't no sweat. You got baptism by fire today. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let's take your time with it. We rock. Yeah, but since you thumb, you have Shemalathon by Shem Yashai. You all know tonight, DC, Wednesday, scripture breakdown in the DC school. Again, big up Commander YAHANNA coming through on Monday. You know what I mean? Giving us some good vibes on Monday coming through. It was a real pleasure to host him down here. You know what I mean? For sure. You know, Commander YAHANNA built the DC school with his hand, built up this whole zone, that camp spot. He was the one who selected that and rocked that out and, you know, stomped into the ground over there and softened up that spot good and proper. You know what I mean? And then, you know, passed it down to his sons. You know what I mean? So it was good to have him back. It was good to be able to keep doors open that he, you know, he could come back to a spot that he, you know, for sure, you know, started. You know what I mean? That's always a blessing where, you know, you know, a father figure could leave something in your charge or under your watch and is able to return to it. You know what I mean? And, you know, at least I hope he wasn't disappointed, Shapat. I hope he wasn't. But it was good to have him down here. You know what I mean? Of course, you all know Jeremiah Hyman was down here last Thursday. You know what I mean? Last Thursday. Between them 5 days, I nearly get a goddamn stroke. I'm like trying to make sure everything is perfect and right. But it was Tawab. So, you know what I mean? You know, Tawab to both generals for that, of course, coming through and rocking it out with DC. So, you know, tonight we're going to talk about, you know, Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. Right? Because you have last week was Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And last week's class was bringing out how, you know, you ain't a white man. You're not Johnny Depp. And now come to find out this brother who so many people love and admire, you know what I mean? Love him to death, admire him to death, was all happy, you know, when he, you know, got this girl, happy for him and how long they was going and all that type of stuff. And now, of course, they're divorced, just like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. You know what I mean? Just like them both. And, you know, somehow people are surprised and shocked about the whole thing when, you know, I mean, it was a easy countdown when you look at what happened with those two. And it's something that it's an old lesson in new form. It's the same old thing that's always happened to black men and black women. You don't know who to pick. You don't know who to marry. And even if you pick the wrong person, you know, please flip around that Caesar sign on the ground there. Make sure they could see it when they're walking. And even though you do pick the wrong person, you're not committed enough in anything in your whole life anyway, man or woman. You're not committed enough to just see the goddamn thing through. You get the point? Like there's, you know, one step is to do something that you should have never did. But goddamn, the ship done left the damn dock. We are already out in open sea without a paddle, and you jump ship, whether it's man or woman. In this case, it was that broad, right? And it's you know, that's a normal situation for Black and Hispanic people. It's so normal. It's just right now with because of their celebrity, it's such a, you know, a spectacle. Right. You know what I mean? Because of their celebrity, it is an absolute spectacle for the whole world. Or not the whole world, but by and large the whole world, because of he's supposed to be the next big actor. I guess he thought he was going to be Denzel. I guess he thought he was going to marry, you know, that sister Denzel married, anyone. You know what I mean? And have a wife for 25, 50 years, 40 years. Right. You know what I mean? Not understanding not understanding the error in his choice.
Right.
His choice was just poor. He had a poor choice, right? He ain't supposed to take that girl just because of who her father is.
Right.
That's number one. Like, oh, that's her father? Say again? Yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead, light him up. Right? Get busy and take your time. You know what I mean? Because of who her father is, he already supposed to know there is no good stock in that. There's absolutely no good stock in that. So we're going to beat a little dead horse tonight. God damn. We got to go and run back through this thing because so many people are, base their lives on our celebrities and what our celebrities do or do not do, right? What our celebrities decide to go through or not go through. And it's just they made two mistakes, not mistakes. I mean, errors, just bad judgments. And not only that, it's two bad examples, right? One, again, is the choice, and two, quitting. You get the point, just, deciding to abandon something, which is how most of us, we're used to that. We're used to growing up with, 2 daddies, 3 daddies, 2 mummies, 3 mummies, a ton of uncles who's really not uncles. Like, we used to it because as a people, we're just weak. We just weak, being under this oppressor, being under the church, we're just absolutely weak when it comes to life. You know what I mean? We're good athletes. We're excellent entertainers. You know what I mean? We good at, we're good at working for somebody else and slaving for somebody else.
Right.
But when it comes to actual real life, we're weak. We're probably one of the weakest nations. We're just absolutely a weak nation when it comes to that. When it comes to being able to suffer long to, bring forth fruit, which is the basis of agriculture. You're gonna have to first plan. You're gonna have to have your plan. You're gonna have to budget time, budget food, budgeting money, budget in case shit. You know what I mean? White man call that insurance, but black people call it, this is in case shit. Right? In case shit go wrong, because if you planting your food or raising cattle, there's going to be a time where you can't eat. You understand? There's going to be a time where it's a ton of work, where you're toiling and you're not feasting. And you're toiling and you're toiling and you're toiling. And as a people, we can't do even that as a people. We're not able to feed ourselves as a people.
Right.
You understand? Forget about defending ourselves as a people. We're not able to do that. But we can go to work, though. We can show up as a slave and smile with the oppressor. But when it comes to actual life, living, breathing life, we are absolutely ill-equipped.
Right.
Absolutely ill-equipped. Get it, point? Give me Salaki. Give me Exodus 22 and 16, Shapat, when you're done.
Salaki, what you said is so heavy as far as us quitting.
Shapat, you could take this final? Let me see if it'll be all right without it. One, 2. Tawada. Yeah, that's good.
What you were saying as far as us used to quitting is heavy, because I'm reading just a comment on different platforms and different little chat rooms about the situation, and all through the chats, the comments, and the brothers like, now y'all bros don't get mad when he go get with a white girl, and it's just like, so in a lot of brothers' minds, this justifies now you going and being weak and getting with a heathen, getting with our oppressor.
Well, okay. This not only does it in their minds, it justifies it. That's what happens when things fail this bad.
Right.
When things fail this bad, brother, you become a traitor.
Right.
I want to say things fail, meaning your expectation, what you expect. When it failed that bad, it's Judas.
Right.
Whatever Judas was expecting to get out of being with Yahushua, it failed. He did not get that. It wasn't going how he thought it was going to go. He had to go on, create his own righteousness.
Right.
His own thing, which, he decided to be a traitor.
Right.
Thinking that he would have it on the other side. You get the point? So when you see something like this and people saying, don't be surprised if he go get a white woman or the daughter of the oppressor, it's because those brothers done put something into somebody they shouldn't have. Right. They done put something into, just like you know, somebody playing sports.
Right.
They put everything into it and it ain't go right, so they quit.
Right.
When you talk to professional athletes, the things they come back from, you know, it's those are not normal things.
Right.
And they wouldn't be that professional if they quit. You get the point? It just would not be like that if they were just quitters. You understand? So now they're gonna try to justify it, but this is again because the situation broke them.
Right.
The situation just broke this person, and now they're so scarred by it. Every woman is an offense.
Right.
So now, if every woman, and not just every woman, every sister that, you know, is going to remind you of this thing, so now you go get the daughter of the oppressor.
Right.
You get the point? It's the same thing with the homosexuals and the lesbians.
Yeah.
Right? Something happened to them when they was young, and it broke them. So now, instead of warring back, you just choose to go with a woman if you're a woman because some man hurt you.
Right.
Or if you're a man, you choose to go with a man because some man or woman hurts you. That goes heavily unspoken of the amount of female child molesters and child abusers that there are. Right? It goes heavily unspoken. Chris Brown would tell you it.
Yep.
Right? He got molested when he was 8 or 9. Passing off, had sex with an older woman, but he was abused. He was raped by an older woman. That's why he is the way he is.
Right. You
get the point? So it's so many dynamics with this thing right here, and brothers identify with it so much because it's because as a people we are absolutely weak.
Okay.
We are an absolutely weak people when you look at the things that defeat us. When you look at the things that defeat us, and I'm not talking about, you know, the oppression that we go through from this oppressor. That's full on legitimate oppression. I'm talking about life. We're talking about life here. They didn't divorce because he was in tops and Peyton Gendron showed up and put a gun to her head and he ran. That's not why. Right. You get the point? They didn't have a divorce because Dylan Storm Roof bust in their house and he ran away. You get the point? They didn't have a divorce because of some racist cop stop or marginalizing, racial marginalizing or discrimination in Hollywood. You get the point? They didn't survive because of life. And that's how we are. Once again, we could do a 100-yard touchdown easily. Right. We'll win the NBA with, you know, one lung. But when it comes to life, brother, we're not equipped. We're absolutely not equipped. And it's just because of our upbringing. Our upbringing, you know, the things that as a child you learn as truth or moral values or foundation, it's just not there. It's not there. So you have nothing to fall back on. So when you fall flat. Right. That's what's going on. So first off, give me Exodus 22 and 16.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Right? If a man lie with a maid and what? Entice her, right? And he lay down with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. Which means what? If a man goes spit game to a sister, right, and he entice her, he seduce her, and she open her legs to him, according to God, that's your wife.
That's right.
So he ain't got no, what's the story? The story here is that he proposed to her and she said, I'm too young. He's 30, she's what, 23, 24? Some shit like that. She said, I still want to go have fun, enjoy life. I believe that's what they're saying. Well, you know, they both could have learned that sex was marriage.
Right.
And there would be no proposal.
Right.
And then if she's scared of a ring, her fear should be to open her legs wrongfully.
Right.
Like she should have been scared when the game was being spit. When he said, I'm watching Creed with her and saying that was me. You get the point? When he sit down there, what was this other movies? Black Panther. When he up in there talking about, is this your king? She should have been scared to open her legs then.
Right.
But she was not. So, you know, it lets you know the priorities are. Hold on, Shapat.
Okay, sir. But when I would tell somebody sex is marriage and go to this verse right here, some people would try to run around it because it says, you know, after he lied with her, it said he shall surely endow her to be the wife. Basically saying they weren't married. Now he's going to go marry her because he did that. The sex wasn't marriage. And I would respond with, but that was a commandment. So in the eyes of the Lord, that's your wife because he's commanding you to make her your wife.
Okay, you have to explain that to me again. Say that part again.
Come, sir. When showing somebody that sex is marriage, they would always listen to the fact that it says, surely he will endow her to be his wife, as they're not already married because of the sex. But now, since they had sex, he has to make her his wife. But I would always respond with, that's the Lord giving a commandment that's your wife. So
okay, you might have to just teach them a little bit more. There's something else in that. You know, get the point. There's something else in that. Somebody who was running away from that, saying the sex is not the marriage, they still had to go get married after. This is just somebody who's just slow in spirit. All right, they're just in the spirit, they're a little slow. Right? That's not what they're talking about. What you want to do is you want to look up endow. Just look up endow. Look it up. You have to switch up there. Look up endow. All right.
Also by me, sir. The sister online asked Salaki, who are we talking about?
Okay, we're talking about you. We're talking about you. We're talking about me. We're talking about everybody. We're talking about Israel. And when we're using the I was joking, of course, sister. I ain't talking about you. But we're using the example of Lori Harvey, who's Steve Harvey's daughter, who's supposed to be this big hotshot, you know.
Right.
You know, the hottest thing in Hollywood. And Michael B. Jordan, who is this young actor, young brother, you know, very high profile actor. All right. And apparently they split, and of course the internet is going crazy and trending amidst, you know, war in Ukraine, amidst $10 gas prices in California, and amidst, you know, everything else.
Right.
However, these things is what affecting your home, because what they went through is what everybody is going through. Failing because of life. And you're failing because of life because you haven't been taught anything about being free and living from young. You've just been taught about being a slave. All right? So give me endow.
Come. Endow, to furnish with an income.
Say it again.
Endow, to furnish with an income.
Anything else?
Come. Verse 2, to furnish with...
Okay, is there any more on number 1?
Come, sir.
Yeah. Especially
to make a grant of money providing for the continuing support or maintenance of.
Right. That's really the only one you need.
Okay.
The others are good too. Skip down some. Hold on. Skip down some more. Give me the other ones.
Okay.
Definition 2.
To furnish with a dowry.
To furnish with a dowry. Check that door, brother. Don't just sit. All right, no sweat. Go ahead.
Verse 3. To provide with something freely or naturally.
Right. 2, Shalom on Christ. 2 is what? To furnish with a dowry, right?
Come. To furnish with a dowry.
Right, with a dower. What is a dower?
It's like a fee for a man's daughter.
Well, in this case, it's his daughter, but a dower is a real estate term of interest, or it's a real estate term. It's something. It's a fee or interest or amount that goes with something, with property. You get the point? So now, go ahead.
So basically, when it says, he shall surely endow her with, to be his wife. So after they had sex, she is his wife,
But now he owes her father.
He had to go pay for the property he just took.
I got you.
He shall surely endow her. He had to go and provide that fee, that financial support for continuous whatever, because he done took the property. He has to do it. He had to now go do that shit. Also, give me the other one where he shall go to her father and give him the shekels. Right, keep reading, Shabbat.
Verse 17. If her father utterly refused to give her to him.
Right, so that's where you go. You just keep going. You break down endow, and then if the father utterly refused, meaning what? What is he refusing? He's refusing to acknowledge the marriage. They're already married. If they're not married, why is the father even refusing? You get the point? Why would the father refuse? But the father is refusing because they already married. And he's like, I don't want you to have my daughter. Not you. He's refusing, but they're already married. That's the problem. So the dowry is to pay the father for all the trouble he goes through raising a daughter, which is a goddamn headache. It's a headache to raise a girl. You get the point? Because they're simple. They don't understand things. Life is very soft and cuddly for a woman. You understand? That's how their life is. Their life is very soft and cuddly and to be taken care of, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But in raising her, especially in this climate we're in this time, in this era, with all the influence of your Facebook and your Instagram and this in school and that in school and this growing up and that growing up, remember, she's soft and cuddly. When I say soft and cuddly, what do I mean? She's very carnal. Eve is carnal, brother. She's sensual. She's sensual, you know. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, she responds very much to physical stuff. She's very, you know, she's sensitive very much. You get the point? So certain things that she should not experience, she's experiencing in this climate, in this society. You get the point? So now it's very difficult to raise a girl like that. You got to put a hedge around, like the scripture said. A man who begetteth a wife getteth a possession. Where there's no hedge, the possession is spoiled. Steve Harvey didn't put a hedge around that hole. So she's spoiled. You get the point? He was not able to raise her right. She's spoiled. But a father who done raise that girl right and have that hedge around her, you go in there and you try to have sex with his daughter, you have to pay a dowry. You have to pay a serious bit of money because he done went through hell for 20 years trying to keep this girl legs closed so you could have her for the first time. You understand? You know how much men try to come in here before you? And I had to stop them and stop her and check her. And what she's crying by the time 17, 18, what's she crying and begging her father for? Rodak. She's crying and begging, Daddy, please let me, I love him. Bitch, you don't know what love is, Ak. She don't understand. And that's the father's burden. She don't understand shit but what she wants now. You as a father is supposed to, you're going to have to shoulder it. And you're going to have to protect her and put the hedge around her and discipline her. And don't give a damn if she cries because you know it's for the betterment. And now you done raise her and she's somewhat decent, where you're not going to be ashamed to give her to another man. Because why? Suppose you give her to another man and she's Lori Harvey. She had sex with P. Diddy and his son. With Future. I don't know who the hell is turning up ass to Future. God damn. Shit. She had sex with so much different people. And now I'm supposed to have you pay for her? These niggas get her for free. Let me get her for free too. You get the point? It's a tremendous burden. So now if you go and somehow get her away from her father and she decides to give you the tail, the right thing for you to do is go pay him, because you really just stole his daughter. You really and truly just went in there and seduced her out the house and stole his property. But in today's society, that's seen as, you the man, bravado, you're a macho man, you the player, you the boss. You know what I mean? You you the man. When this society, you're supposed to be branded as weak. You understand? Not for going and get the girl, but for not going to her father and paying him what you owe him. You understand? You go get the girl. The right thing would be to go to her father and talk to him first and get to know him, because when you marry a woman, you're not just marrying her. You're marrying the father, the mother, the dog, the auntie, the uncle with cancer, the uncle who raped her when she was young. You get the point? You marrying her whole family. It would behoove you to go know that damn father and pay him something, even if you want a bottle of Jack Daniels for his girl. It would be good for you to go meet her father. You understand? That would be the right thing to have done, and negotiate a price with Steve Harvey. But of course, he don't know what marriage is himself. He tells women to act like a woman and think like a man. You get the point? He don't understand raising up anybody. So even if you go meet him, he don't understand what should be right at all, how he should do things. You get the point? He as I read somewhere, he said he don't really care what happens as long as his daughter is happy and nobody put hands on his daughter. Right? And as far as he knows, they both went their separate ways and she's happy. So he said, I'm team Lori. That's what he said as her father. Well, nigga, your team Diddy's son, your team Future, your team, who else had sex with her? Everybody. She had like 7 different niggas before this dude. And she's 23. She ain't, 30 and all. She's Trace. Got Trigger. Trigger went up in there. You get the point? So first off, they should have known that this is the steps to follow. You out there, you ain't got no movies, and your woman's father don't have a TV show. But you could be way more righteous than they are, though. You could be absolutely way more righteous than they are. If you're a brother and you're considering a woman, do it the right way. Do it the honorable way so the Lord will be pleased and smile on you. You know what I mean? Be pleased and smile on you and could get you to go through things. Go ahead.
No, sir. You told me this a while back, and I had a woman that had a little interest. We would always run into conversation whenever we see each other.
Right.
Good conversation. So I asked for a number one day and got to talking to her, and I was letting her know everything that, about the school, about who I am, without, a man of the Lord. Mm-hmm. And she was with everything. She loved it. And until I got to the part about, when the last time she had, a man. Mm-hmm. And she let me know it was a few months ago or so. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you sure y'all was over with? You know what I'm saying? I let her know about me speaking to him to make sure that he was done with her, and about, if I could meet her father.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's his part that spooked her. Those two things right there.
Yeah, of course. Listen, okay, it ain't spook her. It just deliver. It just raised you out of the mud. Like as a people, we're so weak. We used to dealing low down in the dirt, mud, and you elevated yourself out of that. So to her, you're just too strange. You want to meet him father for? What do you want to talk to him for? In her mind, she think you want to talk to him to find out dirt on her, when you just want to find out if he still claims her as his own. I'm gonna tell you, broad in the world, that's you up to something. You trying to find out dirt on me or whatever else. And Lord knows what you want to meet her father for. Who the hell knows what relationship she had with him? She should have jumped at the opportunity, but of course she's simple. So that was the end of it right there. She's like, you're doing too much. Yeah, you keep doing much. Do more. You get the point? Right. Do much, much more. You raise the bar. If you raise the bar on these women, you'd realize they wouldn't meet the standard. The bar is just very low. You get the point? but you raise the bar on these sisters, they're going to jump up. They're going to get up there. But you had to raise the bar on them. They're going to cry and kick and fret, and they're going to wipe the tears, and they're going to get up there. You just had to raise it and keep it up there, and, you know, hold out. Just hold it out, and they'll be all right. They'll get. How do I know? How do I know they're going to reach the bar? Well, that's true too. That's true too. I learned the hard way, but there's another way. That's true too. That's definitely true, but there's another way. There's a whole other way. Check online, Shabbat, see if anybody answering. There's a whole other way. If you raise that bar, they're going to meet it. How do I know?
By you yourself sticking to that bar.
Nope. Go ahead.
Sarah Ranah, Yahweh God said through your rib.
Well, that's true as well, but I already have them. So how do I know that woman there who you're trying to get will meet the bar that you set?
Harakya Bagyamya said history shows they'll meet.
I'm gonna need a little more than that. That's very vague.
Or if a new woman who you're not married to, if she trying to get with you, she'll try to beat your standard or try.
Okay, how do I know that new one will meet the bar? Come on, no lucky. Go ahead.
She might talk to you. She might have a conversation with you.
Salaki, who was this? Let me get his name. I think John Briggs said the sisters in the UPK.
Well, they're here. We have a high standard in here already. I'm gonna give it to y'all for time's sake, and y'all gonna be shocked when I say it. They're doing it every day for the white man. That sister you was talking to, right? And she out of slavery? Okay. You're right. And she go there and she change her voice and talk all proper at the slavery? Yeah, and make sure she dressed nice and, put on, the shirt and how you doing, son? Yeah, so and so. And as soon as they leave the room, fuck, I had this bad weekend. And as soon as the white man walking, yes, sir. No, sir. She's fully effing capable of reaching a standard arc. The problem is we so weak as a people, we think here's the standard when we could just be way higher. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
come on.
You totally right. Because, the sister I was talking to, and she came and gave me my belongings. And she came outside the wrong stuff. One, I was like, yo, I called her a couple hours later, like, yo, don't come outside like that.
Right.
So she was like, she had a problem with it. She was like, about me saying something. She kicked and screamed, and I held my ground, and then she don't do it no more. That's
it. You just had to hold the standard. You just had to hold the standard, and you're gonna realize they're going to meet the standard. Right? Two things will happen. Either they meet the standard and the demon leaves, or they leave and the demon leave. Either way, you're effing win. You're going to win. You're going to win. But these broads is doing it every day for the white man arc. Every day for a devil who murders their parents, murders your brothers, sends them to prison, shoots them in the tops, shoots them in the church. They're doing it every day. Every day. They're going to school for 4 years to go to a job that they hate. You get the point? They, everything else they do. Drive 45 minutes to a slavery, go get their hair burnt off for a boss who pays them, and they meet his standard. I can't be late. I have to do this. I have to do this for the slave. Well, try that commitment to your husband and see how much more profitable you would be. They could meet a standard. Brothers, just don't give in. Hold the standard. Go ahead.
And the other part of that story was the water the truth, because I was talking to my younger brother. He's like probably like 4 years younger than me or something, 5 years younger than me. I was telling him about the broad, how she went off. He's like, well, yeah, that's it. Because brothers, how you saying, brothers in the world, we so weak. We think a lot of brothers, even myself, it'd be something you don't when you date in the world. When you date a woman, certain men will say something, and other men are too weak to speak up. And then they think when you want to speak up, like my little brother, he was like, "Yeah, well, she don't like if she don't like you saying something about you dressing well." Because I told him, I said, I'm about to have this conversation with her. He was like, "Bruh, she ain't gonna like they might leave her alone." I said, "Nah, I'm gonna show you something."
Yeah.
And I did it, and she, now she covers up. And so it was the show, and I thought it for the truth because I wouldn't know that without the truth.
That's the thing.
And,
like, it's the upbringing, the way how we was brought up. It doesn't equip us for life. It just equips us to be a slave, which is why Eve could be a perfect employee, but a terrible mother or a terrible wife. Or a brother could be a superstar NBA plus whatever, and be just a horrible husband or a horrible brother. You get the point? How we grow up in this kingdom does not equip us for life. It doesn't. And that's why, Michael B. Jordan looking how he looking, and Lori Harvey just don't give a rat's ass. You get the point? Give me where we was at. Give me the other one with the
This is a story about
No, I think it's right here, Keep reading in Exodus 22.
He shall pay money according.
Start at 17.
Sir. Book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 17. If her father utterly refused to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Right, according to the dowry of virgins. Right? That's if the father refused to give her. It refused to accept the marriage. So they're already married. He's going to pay the dowry according to the dowry of virgins. What is the dowry according to the dowry of virgins?
Basically, the money that the man that had sex with his daughter would have paid him.
Say that again.
The same money that he would have paid him for his daughter, the father would have to now give him.
Right. That's what it would be. Whatever would be the value of the girl. Now he would have to pay it to that brother if he refuses. All right. If he refuses, he would have to pay it to that brother. Go ahead.
Are you looking for the one for the tokens of the damsel's virginity?
The tokens of the virginity is not the dowry.
Okay.
The tokens of the virginity is the bloody sheets.
Right.
That's not the dowry. What I wanted here was just going and paying, but I could take that too. All right.
Okay, because I know that the shekels. Only because when you said shekels, I know somebody got to pay shekels.
Yeah, because she's a hoe.
Yeah.
That's why you had to pay the shekels, because she was not pure.
Yeah, that's when you said the word shekel. That's what I thought about this scripture right here.
You could hold that too.
Okay.
All right. So now that would be the first step. The first step would have been he should have chose a woman who he would already went to her father and worked out a dowry, paid her the dowry, paid him the dowry, and then took the girl. You get the point? Read that one we have.
All right. Deuteronomy chapter 21, chapter 22, verse 13. If any man take a wife and go into her and hate her and give occasions of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. Then shall the father, the damsel, and the mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city of the gate. Verse 16, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. Right.
So now this is an instance where you don't work out a price for this girl with the father. And you work out the price based on this girl doesn't know any man. She's young, right? She never knew a man. So now he went and had sex with her, and he realized that he was lied to. Somebody lying, either her lying or the father lying. So he brings charge against her. That's what I mean. He hated her. He went to the father and said, "I didn't find these tokens of her. I didn't find her a maid," meaning like she was not a lady. That's another way of saying she was not a lady. Like this girl, she a thought her. You know what I mean? Your daughter loose. You know what I mean? She for everybody. You know, something had to go on here with this money, right? Keep going.
Verse 17. And lo, he hath given occasion
Excuse me.
of speech against her, saying,
So okay, what is 8? Clip the online classes on the YouTube. I think Chicago gonna take it from 8 on YouTube. You could leave Facebook running, but around about 8, yeah. Right, Chicago usually take it from 8. All right, just for the online classes one, not Facebook, just the YouTube one. All right, go ahead.
Verse 17. And lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of thy daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the